Hey, Scott Johnston here. Can I tell you a quick story? It's about a guy named Larry Walters, better known as Lawn Chair Larry. You see, Larry, back in 1982, he had a dream to fly. He was actually an obsession about flying, and he wasn't a pilot, didn't have a plane, but what he did have was a lawn chair and about 45 weather balloons. So one day he packed a CB radio, his lunch, he grabbed a little pellet gun so that he could pop the balloons to come back down to earth. And his plan was that he was gonna fly up for about 30 feet and kind of drift over, his house and the surrounding area and then descend slowly back to earth. Well, Larry, he gets all his stuff, sits down in his lawn chair and cuts the rope. And he doesn't fly up to 30 feet. He doesn't even fly up to 100 feet. He flies up to 15,000 feet. And eventually he ends up entering controlled airspace. In fact, the whole FAA gets involved. He gets all these different fines. And it is an absolute insane story, right? I kind of get where Larry's coming from though. Right? Because actually when he lands, he actually is able to pop some of his balloons. He ends up landing on a busy freeway and, he's subsequently arrested. But while they're arresting him, they ask him, hey, why did you do this? Why did you actually go and fly in this lawn chair? And his response is classic. He said, a man can't just sit around. I think I can understand where he's coming from because if I'm honest with you, I hate waiting. I hate waiting at the DMV. I hate waiting at the airport. I hate waiting in lines. I actually look at different lines and think, oh, I'm going to jump into that line or that line. I measure how long it's going to take. Can I just encourage you though, waiting is actually essential for our spiritual health. In fact, look what Lamentations chapter 3 verses 21 to 26 says. It says, "Yet this I call to mind and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord." Can I just encourage you? Waiting isn't wasted time. In fact, it is essential for our spiritual health. I don't know exactly what season you're in. I don't know if you're in a waiting season. I have been in a waiting season, but I have found that in the waiting season, that is where I have found the most growth in my relationship with God. That he actually meets me in the space of waiting. And so can I just encourage you, when you're waiting on God, that doesn't come back empty. I hope this encourages you today.